Hello there again, friends. Today is 2/1/2022, and today is Odin Project Vlog Day 29. And this is part 2, or day 2, if you will, of the project landing page series, or mini series, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, today we're going to be adding CSS to the first section that I completed the HTML for yesterday, which is the what they call the hero section, which is this section, and then the header, which is kind of blended in up here. So I completed this whole section, added CSS to it. I spent quite a while on it. I won't lie. I probably over-engineered it a bit. I will go through my thought process with you guys tonight and show you what I did and how I added it. So this is what the what it looks like. Excuse me. This is what it's supposed to look like, and here are the requirements. We'll go into those as we get going here, and then this is what I currently have. So this is just blown up. So all this is just basically this top part here, just blown up so you can see it. So as you can see, it mimics it pretty nicely. And then I've got my made up business information instead of the dummy place marker stuff. So let's dive right in. I am going to go over the briefly go over the index file, HTML file, because I don't remember if I made any changes from yesterday to today. I know for sure I forgot to put the link in for the style sheet, so I added that there because I started working on my styles today and it immediately ran into problems because this wasn't in there. So when I was saving my saving all and saving my files, and I refreshed the browser, it wasn't adding any CSS. So it took me a minute to realize that I hadn't put that in there. So I did a bunch of changing and reworking and changing, and as I mentioned yesterday, this is still work in progress. I am taking it in chunks, as we talked about a couple videos ago, and doing it in basically sections. So this top section is what we're doing today, and we're doing the CSS portion of the HTML. So this is stuff we worked on yesterday, so I won't really go over it. I'm just telling you what I said about changing, because I may end up changing some of these classes and divs around a little bit. I probably did make some changes since yesterday, but if not, here we go. Just real quick. So I've got a wrapper, a div wrapper that wraps the header for right now, the header and the hero section. It's called header hero wrapper, and then I have another child div class called header, and that's like what it sounds like. So that has my header logo in it and my links, my about us, services, and get a quote. And then I have another div here called hero, and this is the name isn't really that intuitive, but basically it's the hero is this section right here. So the image, the text, and the sign up button are the hero. And then JB Tech Card is this right here. So basically I created another div called this, and you'll see it here in the code in a minute. And then or the CSS, excuse me. And then I have my text. I call it class hero text because I had to make some changes to it, some CSS additions, as we'll see. And I've got my button class sign up button and my image class hero image. That's outside the hero div, but inside of the wrapper, and everything's inside the wrapper for right now. That'll change as we progress, but for right now, that's the bones of it. So let's cut over here to the CSS. So I started off with an import. We didn't talk about this neither in my discussions with you guys in my videos, nor did it talk about it at all really in the text in the modules, but basically we're importing a font from Google API called Roboto, and I'm using that in inside the body for this page as per the instructions. So the instructions right here say, let's see, that's not in there. Actually, it's on the landing page part. It's saying that hero text's statement appears at the top of the web page, and the fonts being used in the images is Roboto. So there's that. And okay, so I have display flex, flex direction column, margin 0, min height 100 VH, and the font family of Roboto with sans serif default backup. This is nothing new, stuff we've already worked on before. This isn't being used right now, but this idea of this and the reason why I put this in here is in prep for expanding and shrinking. What I mean is I have the plan that over time, as I build this out more, all this stuff's going to shrink and grow so that the header and footer won't be cut off. That's the idea there, just like we went over in the previous exercise, so I won't go over that again. Then I created a selector called header-hero-wrapper, which is this right here. And it has just simply a background color, and that's that dark blue that we just seen. And the header, there's my declaration for the header. And it's a flex, align item center, margin 10 pixels. And I put the margin 10 pixels in there because... not because it said to, because it doesn't actually give you any specific values other than what it gives here. But I was needing a little bit of wiggle room at the top here. I put margin here because everything was slammed right up to the top, and it just didn't look super clean. And I'm trying to make it the best replication to this as possible. And then you can see there's some space up here. So that's why that's there. Justify content is space around, and that's so that assists. Sorry. Flipping around here a lot on it, and that assists with getting the space in between each and surrounding the body there, and giving some space in the header file. In the header to accomplish that goal of that style. And then font size 18 pixels. Now it does say that here. I'm going to jump around a lot, so I hope I don't make anybody nauseous. Sorry. I'm trying to keep it flowing nice. And so here's your 18 pixels, and this is for the header, link text, and hero secondary text. So we have 18 pixels and that number pound E5, E7, EB font type. And we'll see that here in a minute. Header logo height is 50 pixels, and this I just came up with arbitrarily. I needed the header logo to be small. When I imported it in, I as I mentioned yesterday, I did some cropping and some Linux version of Photoshop work, if you will, and you can see some of these applications open up here. But anyway, I needed to dramatically decrease the size of that file, so I gave it a 50 pixel height and a width auto so that it didn't jack up the ratios, and that yields this result, sorry, right here, the little laptop. And then we go down here to header links, which is what we just looked at on the header. It's the left hand side. Nothing new here, we've seen this before. Flex display, list style type none, so that takes the line underneath the hyperlink, and zero out the margin padding because it's this one, as we talked about before, is a unordered list, so we zero it out to get rid of the default padding, and we create a gap of 10 pixels, and that result yields this right here. So you got the about us, the services, and get a quote with a little bit of space in between. Again, closely mimics this right here. Yeah, my spacing isn't perfect, but we're not looking for perfection. We're just looking to get it close. There's that. And then we go down here to header links A. So this is targeting the the anchor tags themselves. And so the text says you need a color and a text decoration. So the text decoration here, this takes, I always get confused. Decoration applies to font used for an element's text. Oh no, so this takes away, I always get them backwards. This takes away the underline on the hyperlink, and this one up here, the list type, style type, takes away the bulleted dot. So pardon me on that. So that's correct. And then the color is coming from the instructions. It says you need, there's your dark background, and then you need this key here, this color here for your header link text. And that's that. And then we go down here, and I have another selector called Hero, which is right here. And that is flex, justified center, and margin 100 pixels, and left and right is 400. The reason for the margin, so let's talk through this real quick. So I have a margin of 100 pixels all the way around. And so that's this right here. Because when I didn't have that, it was slammed all the way up to the bottom of the header, and it looked funny, and it didn't look at all like it was supposed to look. So I added that. And then I had to add the left and right margins extra, so I could get it to kind of line up with kind of a center alignment, because I was using align center, but because this is one big card, or one big flex, these are flex items, that's a flex container, and then this is a flex container. For some reason I could not get it to just when I justify it, it would either make it really long or jam it all together. So right or wrong or indifferent, everybody's going to have their own way of going about it. I decided to say forget it, and I defined a size to it, and that's why I have the 400 on the right and the left. So it kind of centers it for me. I may have to end up changing that down the road. It's probably going to bite me in the butt because it seems like a hacked shortcut, if you will. So, but that got that going there. And then I had another selector, JB-tech card, which is this class right here, which basically wraps the H1 tag, the P tag, and the button, which is all this right here. There's H1, there's P tag, and there's a button. And what I did there was I aligned it self-center because this is both a flex item and a flex container. When you center it, it does center itself nicely inside of the container. And if I get time at the end, I'll pull up the dev tools to show you guys what it looks like, so you get an idea there. I'm just not trying to make this go too long. So H1 here is the JB Technologies. I've got a font size of 48, which is in the text. That's a requirement. Font weight of 900, which is a requirement that they want it to be. They say extra bold, but 900 is bold, so I just went with that. The color F9F AF8 is the color requirement from the text. Padding and margin zeroed out. That's not required, but I put that in there because what happened was when I didn't have that, there was an ugly space here, very large space, a lot more, like double the size. So basically I looked at DevTools and seen there was a lot of margin there, so I just took it out. I think it's because it must be default to the H1 tag. So, and then I come down here, hero text. This is just the color again, the same color that's used up here in the header links anchor tag. So that's just defining hero text, which is right here. So my P tag is just defining that as this right here. I originally had it as just P, but I wanted to try to get away from it as much as possible because down the road I'm gonna have I looked in the down the line on this project, I'm probably gonna have more P tags, and they may not necessarily be styled exactly the same, so I didn't want to have so generic. So I changed it out of P and gave it a class attribute. So I left the H1 because I looked forward and I'm not likely going to have any more than one H1. So, but that's easily fixable and just by adding a class name in there if I want to change that one as well. And then lastly, we have sign up button, and that's what it sounds like. That is this guy right here. And so it has a background color, and that is in the requirements. You guys can look over this, you pause it or whatever, but yeah, it's in here. So right there, button color. I don't know why it's in the white part, but button color, call to action, background color, 3882F6. So that's that right there. Color, again, this is that same color we've been using for the text color that we seen above. Same font weight of 900, which is bold. Padding, I use 5 pixels and 20 pixels. And I came up with that because when you create the initial button, I should have took a screenshot, but I didn't. When you first create the button, it's basically sign up with the square right around it. So basically, 5 pixels will give it, the first 5 pixels is up the top and bottom. The second be the 20 pixels is the sides, the left and right. So it looks a little more genuine, a little more buttonish, and that's how I got that. And border radius 5 pixels. We didn't talk about this. This is something I had to Google. As it said in the instructions that you'll be doing some Googling as well for new stuff. This creates the oval. So basically it shapes the corners off the buttons, because when by default it's an exact square, and so this rounds it off nicely on the corners, and different variations of more pixels will make it a sharper curve basically. And then border 0, I had to Google this one too. So by default, the button has a chrome bezel on it, and basically the border 0 will remove the shorthand property for setting border width, style, and color. So border 0 is the shorthand, and will remove any bezel or border that's default on there, and it just cleans it up. So makes it look nice like that, and looks exactly like this one, which was my goal. And that's the run up. That's it. So the CSS part of the portion is done. Real quick, got a minute or two here to show the developer tools so you guys can see everything real quick. Again, I'm not going to belabor this too much, but so there's the body, there's the header. Let's see if I do this a bit easier. There's the header wrapper. There's the header. There's the, again, this might change, but right now this is what it is. Here's the hero. There's my tech card. And there's my image. And that's pretty much it. So, and guys, don't forget, I was going to do it in this video, but I don't want to make this too long. It's already almost 19 minutes. So don't forget to do your Git commits. I will do those. I was going to do them actually live with you guys on the video here, but it's going to be going too long. But just as a review there, make sure you do your Git pushes, your Git status, your Git commits, your Git adds to get your project up to date. You'll see on my GitHub here, I did that yesterday for the HTML, and then when I get off here, I will do it for the CSS ads. So tomorrow we will move on to this section. I'm going to do a small section at a time. So I'm going to do this white section and this stuff right here, and we'll do the HTML framework, and then we'll follow that up with CSS and move on to the next section until we get all done with the footer. So this will be a multi-part project series. I figured this was better than making one really long video that nobody will watch. So with that said, I hope you guys had some fun and learned a little bit today, and Thank you for coming along with the journey, and please like, share, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, see ya.